Franklin's Gardens, just off the back of the final whistle, 68-5, Sarah Hunter. You scrub up very, very well. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful what makeup artists can do, isn't it? But yeah, it was chaotic. It goes by so quickly. I think I stumbled over my words a few times, but never mind. We'll live and learn and get better.
Yeah, indeed. I'm sure you will. In terms of the game, was that just as mad and frantic and wonderful as being on telly?
Yeah, well, being out there is probably better, but it's not going to happen anymore, is it? So that's fine. They made it watching very easy to have a performance as comprehensive as that.
And you'd say that was a comprehensive performance from the Red Roses?
But where we are against a team, 68-5, like, obviously there's always areas for us to get better. I keep saying us. There's always areas for the Red Roses to get better at. There were areas, but Italy are ranked 5th in the world. I don't think you can take it lightly of a scoreline like that with all the changes and that we've had and new people coming in. I think, yeah, I'd be happy if I was mids.
Yeah, no, I just called him now. He said, just asking lots and lots of questions. 12 tries in all. Everybody here at the stadium very, very happy, apart from 2 people, your parents, who don't enjoy watching at all without their daughter involved. Had a little word with Janet. 12 tries in all. Who stood out particularly for you, Suns?
I think, obviously, Berna's the obvious one, isn't she? I think it wasn't just a carrying game, it was her handling ability, her offload. Like, she put in like a fair few tackles around there. I thought she really stood out today, and then you don't have to look too far from Abby Dow and the way she finished her tries. You know, she makes those tries that she scores look real easy when they're not at all.
How powerful is that handoff? Have you been on the end of that in training sometimes?
Yeah, and in the game. She sat me down a few times.
One of the reasons why you're quite happy not playing anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was an Italian winger running at me, I'd be like, oh, here she comes again. Yeah, she just got back to where she was. You know, you look at someone that has an injury as significant as hers, and then to be out doing Abby Dow things, it's just incredible.
In terms of the back row, outside of the comedy answer of they were all rubbish without you in the back row, genuinely, how do you think they went as a combination, and Zoe Aldcroft in particular at 8?
Yeah, you know, I think for people that don't know, Zoe's played a lot at 8, whether at Gloucester Hartbury, DMP before that. She's played back row for us at 6. Like, her game probably lends itself more to back row than it does second row. She's an athletic ball player, carrying, tackling, her work rate, you know. So for me, it was a natural move anyway, and you fit that alongside Sadia and Marley. I think it was a really good combination that they had out there.
Just finally, because I know you're going to shoot off and what have you, we were wanting to record this pod, and you've just literally had to walk, I don't know, 70 metres down the touchline, stopped by absolutely everybody. I could overhear a lot of thank yous and what have you. Can you quite believe where the women's game is?
It's ridiculous.
Beatrice Rigoni just saying congratulations to Sarah Hunter.
Good luck with the rest of the tournament. It's crazy. Like, I thought not being in kit I'd be able to go incognito, but it's just been crazy, you know, being here and just seeing where the game is. And it's not like just young girls, it's young boys, it's adults, it's groups of players, it's groups of people like that have supported the game over the years that you recognise faces, it's new people, it's just crazy. Like, it's just unbelievable to think where it's gone.
A word on the French victory yesterday?
Yeah, I think probably a bit like ourselves, they probably weren't at their absolute best, but they made it look relatively easy with 14 players for 60 minutes of the game. Yeah. Vernier in particular, I thought was really good, along with Bourdon. It's gonna be interesting as we get through to rounds 3, 4, and 5. Like, you can probably see where the land lies a little bit. People having 2 rounds, and I think it's going to make for some interesting fixtures as we move on to the latter rounds.
And Wales?
I think probably they had a bit of a tougher test against Scotland, but probably a little bit obviously too strong, found a way at the end. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're at home when we face them next. I keep saying when England face them next, when we come back after the break. So that will be a very interesting test, one I'm really looking forward to.
So you got 2 of your 3 predictions right.
Yeah.
For
Scotland were close. They were close.
And what did you go today? 28 more. You went 30
plus.
I went 36 plus.
Yeah, we're still both right. We're still
We're
both
still
right.
both
We're still both right.
Sarah Hunter, it's time for you to have a sherry and warm up, although you're not cold. It's just us
No, I'm
delicate
not
southerners
cold.
who
I
are
think it's just
particularly
the
cold.
energy of being at an England game.
Magic, welcome to a new world of watching rugby.
It's not a bad start, I'll take that.
In the sun, at the gardens.
If they make it easy like that every week.
Great stuff. Thanks so much
Thanks,
for your time.
Johnnie.
Abby Dow's snuck in here in the freezing cold. Look, sun is shining. Nearly 13,000 here at Franklin's Garden. 68.5.
We're doing it in the bloody shade, though. I'm freezing.
we are doing it in the shade. Yeah, you've been running around, so you're slightly warmer. But just generally, that's a good afternoon work at the office, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just numerous things coming together, like the idea that we've moved our Six Nations so that we can have a spotlight ourselves. We do it in slightly nicer weather, so the weather was lovely today, and the crowd was absolutely brilliant. And it's so lovely to see a really healthy crowd in terms of its families, its clubs coming together and actually experience something that they can go home and go, I want to watch that again.
Yeah, it's a very, very different dynamic, isn't it? The crowd at women's rugby, all across the age range and families and boys and girls and all the rest. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah. 4 tries, 33.3 recurring, as you would know, being a bright spark that you are, of the team's tries. You've got to be happy on a personal level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think those sorts of tries, especially the space that I was given, only comes from the hard work of everyone else. You've got the forwards that not only just truck up a ball, like our forwards aren't just let's run as hard as we can. They've got the footwork, they've got dynamics, they've got skills to tip it, and all of that creates so much beautiful momentum. And then we've got the inside backs to just ship it to us in the perfect space. So really, I've got to give credit to the rest of the team as well.
Of course you do. Tall poppies. No, let's chop those down. Look, you've been in the change room. Miley would have had a word on the park afterwards. What was said? Was it slaps on backs all round, or do you know what, ladies, let's come back in camp after the weekend or a few days off and tighten up on some areas?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're second game into a tournament and we've got 3 more to go, and we are never going to be a team that isn't going to want to progress and actually change and work on how we are. I think there's definitely things that we left on the pitch there, just some small things. We are either absolutely clinical or we just were a bit fumbly, and I think we want to remove that. But I think we've got to give credit where credit's due, and I think we worked really hard in certain areas, and the tempo that we played with, we can aspire to maintain that.
I was just chatting with Sunter there, and she said, what a complete performance. And I said, what, really a complete performance? And then the eyes came out, and then I backed right down. And she told me, this is a team that's 4th in the world, and you put 68 points on them.
Yeah.
It can't be grumbled at all, especially when you just turn over a fresh page.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Italians, if you look at their game last week, they really did put France on the line there. It was a tight game, and I think they came out with that same spirit. I think we worked really hard. Nice interview. I've got a shirt on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Sorry, Abby Dow, do you want to speak?
Tough game.
Here's Beatrice Rigoni just joining us.
I love playing England. Wonderful weather in Northampton. Let's go.
It's like you're
Thank you
playing
so
at
much.
home with this weather. I was saying before, we've got to give a lot of credit to Simon Middleton on that. He's got a team that he knows that he's departing at the end of the Six Nations, and he's actually giving whoever will take over that next job a massive platform of inspiration. We showed at the World Cup our front football that we can get from our forwards, and actually we really wanted to step up as backs in the Six Nations, and he's allowing us to play like that, and he's allowing us to show that we have so many different sides to us. So I can only credit Mids for really trying to inspire us and encourage us to go out there and play a different game of rugby that is clearly working for us right now.
What was it like without Sunter?
I think like there will always be a little hole. I think a small one for me is I always sit behind Sunter on the bus, and I sat there and I was like, oh, Sunter's seat. You always have to leave it empty now.
I can't believe they haven't retired the number 8 shirt, frankly.
Literally, do it. I mean, I think Marley's done an absolutely incredible job. There's some very, very big shoes to fill in, but she's actually done it in her own way. And I think that was the most important thing. She's never going to be a replica of Sunter, and I don't think you will ever really will see another Sunter, especially not in my career. But Marley's doing it in her own way, and she's clearly riling us enough as a team to go out there and put performances out like that. So credit to Marley, but yes, I do miss Sunter.
Abby, you're shivering away there. You're in full
I'm a bit
Italian
cold.
kit, which is just brilliant. Thank you so much for your fuel charge. You've done my fantasy team a world of good. Much appreciated. Thanks so much for
I
your
did
time.
it for you. Thank you.